What if the person you loved most was killed, and the one blamed wasn't the real killer? In a quiet American town, a girl is found dead in the woods. Her boyfriend vanishes. But when he returns months later, broken and hunted, he reveals a chilling truth. She didn't fall, she was pushed. And I wasn't alone out there. Who is behind Project Hollow Pines? Why was Kelsey targeted? And how deep does the corruption go? Man Detective, the story you're about to hear is full of lies, betrayal, and a secret they would do anything to bury. Fire if you want to uncover the truth and hear how this haunting mystery unfolds. Stick with us till the very end. Speech balloon, and if you want more twisted, real-feel stories like this one, hit that subscribe button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and let us know. What if this happened in your town? Would you speak out or stay silent? Asterisk, her scream echoed through the forest, then silence. Nothing but the wind, rustling the leaves above her lifeless body. And the boy who once swore he'd die for her was the one holding the bloodied rock. Asterisk. He didn't run. He just stood there, staring, like the world around him no longer existed. Like he had just woken up from a nightmare, only to realize he was still in it. It all started 3 months ago. Lakeview High. Senior year. Homecoming was coming up, and Tyler James was the quiet type. Hoodie always on, earphones in, scars on his knuckles, and too many secrets behind those tired blue eyes. She was Kelsey Monroe. Bright. Popular. The kind of girl whose laugh could melt the hardest heart. People wondered what she saw in him. But Kelsey always said, asterisk, he's just misunderstood. Asterisk. They started spending time together after school. Coffee shop runs. Late-night phone calls. Long drives down Route 71 with the windows down and the lumineers playing low. She called him Ty. He called her Kels. And for a moment, just a flicker, they were happy. But Tyler had demons. He never talked about his dad. Never mentioned the scars on his back. He avoided mirrors. And he always flinched when someone touched his shoulder. Kelsey tried to pull him closer. But every time she got near, he pushed away. Until the night of the Fall Carnival. A crisp October Friday. Leaves crunching under boots. Bonfire smoke in the air. And Tyler waiting by the Ferris wheel, hands shaking. He had planned it all. A necklace in his pocket. A letter in his glove box. Tonight, he was going to tell her everything. But she never showed. Not at first. When she finally arrived, 23 minutes late, she was with Ethan Carter. Football captain. Kelsey was laughing at something Ethan said. And her hand was still on his chest when she saw Tyler standing there. She froze. Ethan waved. Tyler didn't move. Later that night, she texted. Asterisk, can we talk? Asterisk. They met behind the baseball field. By then, the carnival lights had faded and the cold had set in. Kelsey wore his hoodie. He noticed the smudge of mascara under her eye. She looked like she had been crying. Ethan kissed me, she whispered. Asterisk, I didn't mean for it to happen. Asterisk, Tyler didn't speak. She stepped closer. Asterisk, please say something. Asterisk. He looked at her, jaw tight. Hands in his pockets. Then finally, asterisk, did you kiss him back? Asterisk. She hesitated. And that was her answer. Tyler turned. Started walking away. Kelsey followed. Asterisk, Tyler, don't walk away from me. Asterisk. She grabbed his sleeve. He pulled back. Too hard. She fell. Hit her head on a rock. He panicked. Knelt down. Blood. So much blood. She blinked, dazed. Tried to sit up. Whispered something he couldn't hear. He told her to stay still. Tried calling 911. No signal. He ran toward the woods, toward the old ranger station. Left her there. When he came back, she was gone. Not breathing. And that was when something inside him broke. That was the moment he picked up the rock and hit the ground next to her, over and over, screaming, crying, saying her name. Kelsey. Kelsey, please. The next morning, the town was in shock. Kelsey Monroe, the mayor's niece, found dead in the woods. Tyler James missing. Posters everywhere. Helicopters in the sky. Rumors in every hallway. Some said he killed her out of jealousy. Some said it was an accident. But no one knew what really happened. Not even Tyler. Because after that night, he disappeared. Until now. 3 months later, a woman in rural Montana was hiking near Bitterroot Lake. And she found a cabin. Remote. Hidden. With a single light on. And a boy inside sharpening a blade. She backed away slowly. Didn't scream. Didn't run. Just stared through the window at the boy with hollow eyes and a face she recognized from the missing posters back in town. Tyler James. Alive. Breathing. And looking straight at her. She turned to run, but the door creaked open. His voice cut through the air. Low. Empty. Asterisk, you saw me, didn't you? Asterisk. She froze. Asterisk, you know who I am. Asterisk. He stepped onto the porch. No shoes. No fear. Just the sound of wind chimes behind him and a crow calling in the distance. I'm not gonna hurt you, he said. He looked down at his hands. Still stained with something darker than dirt. Asterisk, I just needed to be alone. Asterisk. The woman didn't answer. Her eyes flicked toward her phone. No service. Just like the woods back in Lakeview. Tyler stepped closer. Asterisk, did they ever find out what really happened? Asterisk. She didn't respond. He nodded like he already knew the answer. Then turned and walked back inside, leaving the door half open. She didn't follow. Not right away. But something about the way he moved, the way he asked, it didn't feel like guilt. It felt like grief. The kind that rots you from the inside. She waited 5 minutes. Then stepped inside. Dust on the floor. One chair. One bed. One wall covered in pictures of Kelsey. Photos from her Instagram. Polaroids from the fall. A dried flower taped next to a wrinkled note. Asterisk, forgive me. Asterisk. She turned to say something, anything. But Tyler was gone. The back door swung gently in the wind. She stepped toward it, heart pounding. Outside, trees whispered. The lake shimmered in the fading light. And there, just beyond the dock, a figure standing knee-deep in the water. Still. Motionless. Holding something. She moved closer, the damp grass soaking her shoes. And then she saw it. In his hands was her phone. Kelsey's phone. Still cracked from that night. Still with that last message on the lock screen. Asterisk, I didn't kiss him back. Asterisk. Tyler looked up. His eyes were red. Tears streaming down his face. Asterisk, it was never supposed to happen like this. Asterisk. He dropped the phone in the water and started walking toward the trees again, disappearing into the shadows, just like he had before. But this time, she followed. Branches scratched her arms as she pushed through the thicket. The ground was damp, soft under her boots. The trees grew thicker now, like they were hiding something. And Tyler didn't look back. He moved like someone chasing a memory, fast, desperate, but with nowhere left to go. She finally shouted, Asterisk, Tyler, stop. Asterisk. He paused. Only his silhouette visible through the fog. She stepped closer, breath catching. Asterisk, tell me what happened that night. The truth. Asterisk. Silence. Then, barely above a whisper. Asterisk, you wouldn't believe me. Asterisk. She took another step. Asterisk, try me. Asterisk. He turned around. Face pale. Eyes hollowed out by guilt. Asterisk, it wasn't just me in the woods that night. Asterisk. Her pulse spiked. Asterisk, what do you mean? Asterisk. Tyler swallowed hard. Looked past her, scanning the trees like something might be listening. Asterisk, after she fell, after she hit her head, I ran. I swear I ran to get help. But when I came back, asterisk. He shook his head. Asterisk, she wasn't alone. Asterisk. A cold wind swept between them. Leaves scattered. Asterisk, someone else was there? Asterisk. He nodded. Asterisk, I saw boots. Big ones. Black. Like military. I saw a hand move over her neck. I thought maybe they were helping her, but then I heard it. Asterisk. He paused, voice cracking. Asterisk, I heard her choking. Asterisk, the woman's breath caught. Asterisk, why didn't you tell the cops? Asterisk, asterisk, would you believe a broken kid in a hoodie over the mayor's family? Asterisk, his hands clenched. Asterisk, they would have buried me.
So I ran.
I've been running ever since. Asterisk, a branch snapped nearby. They both turned. Nothing. Just trees and shadows. But Tyler's whole body tensed. Asterisk, he followed me. Asterisk, asterisk, who? Asterisk, he whispered. Asterisk, the man from the woods. Asterisk, the woman stepped back, eyes wide. Tyler's hands trembled. Asterisk, he's real. He killed her. And now he's hunting me. Asterisk, asterisk, why? Asterisk, Tyler looked her dead in the eyes and said something that made her skin crawl. Asterisk, because I wasn't supposed to see his face. Asterisk, another crack.
Closer this time.
Both of them turned, and in the distance, a tall figure stood between the trees. Black coat, black boots, and not moving. The woman's breath froze in her chest. She blinked once.
Twice.
The figure was still there, watching, silent, like a shadow that had peeled itself off the night and grown eyes. Tyler stepped in front of her. No weapon, just instinct. Run, he said. No, she whispered back. Asterisk, we run together. Asterisk, the figure didn't chase, didn't flinch, just slowly raised one hand and pointed right at Tyler. Tyler flinched like he'd been shot. His knees buckled. He dropped to the ground, gripping his head, screaming like something inside him had snapped. She dropped beside him, hands on his shoulders. Asterisk, Tyler. Look at me. Tyler. Asterisk. But his eyes were wide, unfocused. His body trembling like electricity was tearing through him. And then he whispered it again. Asterisk, he was there before she fell. Asterisk. Her heart stuttered. Asterisk, what are you saying? Asterisk. He looked at her, suddenly very still. Asterisk, I didn't push her. Asterisk. A long silence. Just wind through the trees and the fading light above. The woman turned. The figure was gone. No footsteps. No sound. Nothing. She helped Tyler to his feet. He leaned on her, weak, dizzy. They stumbled through the woods, not knowing where they were going. Only that they had to keep moving. We need to tell someone, she said, breathless. Asterisk, the sheriff, FBI, someone. Asterisk. Tyler shook his head. Asterisk, they won't believe us. Not without proof. Asterisk. She pulled her phone out again. Still no signal. But she opened the camera. Switched to video. Asterisk, then we get proof. Asterisk. Tyler stopped. Looked behind them. Asterisk, what if he's not after me anymore? Asterisk. She frowned. Asterisk, what do you mean? Asterisk. He turned to her slowly. Eyes clouded with fear. Asterisk, what if now he wants you? Asterisk. And somewhere behind the trees, a low click, like a camera shutter. She froze. That sound. It wasn't hers. Her phone was still in her hand, recording. She spun around, scanning the woods. Tyler reached for her wrist. Asterisk, don't move. Asterisk. His voice was razor flat, controlled. Too quiet for how fast his chest was rising. They listened. Silence. Then, another click. Closer. He's playing with us, Tyler said, voice hollow. She slowly panned her phone's flashlight around the trees. Shadows danced, twisting between the trunks. Nothing. Then, just for a split second, a reflection. 2 tiny points of light.
Eyes.
Watching. The beam shook in her hand. She tried to zoom. But whatever it was, it moved.
Fast.
He's circling, Tyler muttered, backing them toward a cluster of rocks. Asterisk, stay against something solid. He can't get behind us. Asterisk. They pressed their backs to the stone. Heartbeats loud in their ears. Tyler clenched his fists. The woman hit record again. Then, a rustle to their right. They turned. Nothing. Another to the left. Still nothing. Then, a voice.
Deep.
Metallic. Like it was filtering through static. From everywhere and nowhere. Asterisk, you never should have come back, Tyler. Asterisk. Her skin crawled. Tyler stared into the dark, his breath shallow. Asterisk. Why did you kill her? Asterisk, he shouted. The voice didn't answer right away. Then, asterisk, because she found out. Asterisk. Asterisk, found out what? Asterisk. Asterisk, the town. Your perfect little Lakeview. Asterisk. Asterisk, built on secrets. Asterisk. Silence. Asterisk, you were just the first to see. Asterisk. Tyler's lips parted. His knees buckled. She said something before she died. He looked at the woman beside him. Asterisk, she tried to tell me. Asterisk. Then, footsteps.
Slow. Crunching.
Deliberate. Getting closer. The footsteps stopped just beyond the flashlight's edge. Breathing.
Heavy.
Like whatever was out there wasn't just human. The woman raised her phone again, hands shaking. The light caught something. A hand. Weathered.
Scarred.
Holding an old, scratched camera. The same shutter sound echoed again. Then the figure stepped forward, just enough to reveal his face. But it wasn't a stranger. It was Deputy Ray Carter, Lakeview's quiet cop. The one always stationed at the school gates. The one who showed up first the night Kelsey died. Her eyes widened. You. He tilted his head, calm.
Cold.
As if her panic didn't even register. You don't understand, he said. Asterisk, you never did. Asterisk. Tyler stumbled back. Asterisk, why? You knew her. You were there that night. Asterisk. Ray nodded slowly. Asterisk, and I stayed silent. Because I was told to. Asterisk. Asterisk, told by who? Asterisk. Ray's eyes flicked toward the trees. Asterisk, you're not ready for that. Asterisk. Then, he raised the camera again. Snap. Tyler lunged. But Ray was faster. He stepped back into the dark like smoke, disappearing between the trees in seconds.
Gone.
Again. The woman stood frozen, the cold finally setting into her bones. This goes deeper than you, she said. Tyler nodded, staring into the black. Asterisk, Kelsey knew. That's why she died. Asterisk. A soft ping broke the silence. Her phone. 1 bar of service. Flickering.
Weak.
She pulled up the video. Still recording. She tapped send to cloud. It uploaded. Just before the signal vanished again. Tyler stared at the screen. If they're watching... She looked up. He finished the sentence. Asterisk, they'll come for us next. Asterisk. And behind them, in the dark, the sound of another shutter. Closer than before. She spun around, light cutting through the dark like a blade. Nothing. Just trees.
Wind.
But she knew what she heard. Tyler grabbed her hand. Asterisk, we can't stay here. Asterisk. They ran, branches slashing their arms, roots grabbing at their feet. Her phone was still in her hand, video rolling. They had to keep recording. Had to keep proof. The forest opened up to an old service road, cracked and half swallowed by weeds. A rusted-out truck sat at the edge, engine exposed, windshield shattered. Tyler scanned the horizon. No houses. No lights. Just empty land and sky. We need to get to town, he said, breath sharp. Asterisk, they need to see the video. Before someone erases it. Asterisk. The woman hesitated. Asterisk, Tyler, what if the town already knows? Asterisk. He looked at her, eyes filled with something darker than fear. Asterisk, then we don't go to town. Asterisk. They headed north, toward the mountains. As they walked, Tyler talked. About things he remembered too late. That night at the carnival. How Deputy Ray showed up minutes after the scream. How he never asked the right questions. How the mayor's office pushed the story of an accident before an autopsy was even done. And how Kelsey had once whispered to him. Asterisk, they have files. On kids. In the sheriff's basement. Asterisk. She said it like a joke. But her eyes had been serious. As the sun dipped behind the hills, They found an old ranger station. Boarded windows. Faded sign. Tyler broke the lock. Inside, it was musty. Dust hanging in the air like secrets. They barricaded the door. The woman set her phone on the table, checked the clouds sync again. Complete. She exhaled. Then noticed something strange on the file. An auto caption. She clicked. The screen displayed the last few lines from Ray's voice. Asterisk, you were just the first to see. Asterisk. Asterisk, she found out. Asterisk. And then, something neither of them heard live. A whispered line, distorted under the static. Asterisk, Project Hollow Pines must stay buried. Asterisk. Tyler leaned in. Asterisk, what the hell is Hollow Pines? Asterisk. Before she could answer, the door creaked. Both turned. Footsteps. Inside. But they hadn't heard it open. The air turned ice cold. Tyler reached for a broken chair leg, gripping it like a bat. The woman backed toward the desk, eyes locked on the hallway. The footsteps grew louder, slower, measured, like whoever was approaching knew exactly how much fear each step would carve into the silence. Then, nothing. Stillness. Tyler whispered, Asterisk, check the back room. Asterisk. Asterisk alone. Asterisk. He nodded, barely. Asterisk, I'll guard the front. Asterisk. She took a shaky breath and moved toward the dark hallway, flashlight trembling in her grip. Dust spiraled in the beam. Old ranger maps on the walls. A radio rusted to the desk. The back room door was slightly open. She pushed it. A soft creak. Inside, moonlight spilled through a crack in the boarded window. Empty shelves. Papers scattered on the floor. And on the far wall, a corkboard. She stepped closer. Photos. Kelsey. Tyler. 3 other kids she didn't recognize. All pinned with red thread. Lines drawn from their faces to a single word. Hollow Pines. She stepped back, heart pounding. On the floor below the board, a box. Labeled, Archived Incident Reports, 1997-2009. She opened it. The top file read, Subject 12, Monroe, Kelsey. Unauthorized access detected. Behind it, Subject 11, James, Tyler. Potential instability. Surveillance requested. She staggered. Behind her, the floor creaked. She turned. Nothing there. Just the slow sound of someone breathing. Heavy. Too close. She raised the flashlight, and it was knocked from her hand. Darkness. Hands grabbed her shoulders. She screamed. A voice, raspy, low, shaking, whispered in her ear. Asterisk, you shouldn't have seen this. Asterisk. Then, Tyler's voice, shouting from the front room. A crash. A thud. Another scream. And then, silence.
Her ears rang.
The silence wasn't empty. It was waiting. She scrambled on the floor, fingers fumbling through broken glass and paper until they found the flashlight. She clicked it on just as something moved in the corner. A blur of fabric. A shadow slipping away. She lunged to the door, flashlight beam slicing the dark hallway. Asterisk, Tyler. Asterisk. No answer. She rushed toward the front room. The barricade was broken. The chair leg Tyler held, snapped in half, lying on the ground. Blood smeared across the floor. A trail. She followed it outside. The night air hit like a slap, sharp, cold, unforgiving. The trail curved left, into the woods.
Deeper.
She didn't hesitate. She ran. Branches tore at her jacket. Her shoes sank into wet leaves. She kept running. The blood trail thinned. Then stopped. Just stopped. Nothing. She turned in circles, panting, flashlight flicking through the trees. Asterisk, Tyler. Asterisk. A twig snapped behind her. She whirled. The light caught a figure. But it wasn't Tyler. It was one of the kids from the corkboard photos.
The boy.
Maybe 16. Eyes wide. Face pale. He stepped forward, hands shaking. Asterisk, you're not safe out here. Asterisk. She stared. Asterisk, who are you? Asterisk. He looked over his shoulder, then back. Asterisk, they did this to us. They watch.
Test.
Erase. Asterisk. Her breath caught. Asterisk. What's hollow pines? Asterisk. His lip trembled. Asterisk. A government program. Hidden in Lakeview. They picked kids like Kelsey. Like me. Like Tyler. Asterisk. He looked down at the forest floor. Asterisk. Kelsey found the files. She was gonna tell the world. Asterisk. She stepped closer. Asterisk. Did you see what happened that night? Asterisk. The boy nodded slowly, then whispered. Asterisk. She didn't fall. Asterisk. Her stomach dropped. Asterisk. What do you mean? Asterisk. He looked her dead in the eye. Asterisk. She was pushed by someone who didn't want her leaving that forest alive. Asterisk. A gust of wind blew through the trees, and from deep within the shadows, a mechanical whir began.
Low.
Growing.
Buzzing.
The boy's face turned white. He grabbed her arm. Asterisk. Run. Asterisk. She turned just as red lasers blinked to life on the trees around them. And behind her, a voice, robotic and calm. Unauthorized witnesses detected. Initiate retrieval. They ran. Through branches that clawed at their skin, roots that tried to pull them under. The red dots followed, moving, scanning, closing in. The woman clutched her phone tight, the only thing that mattered now.
Proof.
Evidence.
Truth.
The boy led her through a narrow ravine, down a slope slick with moss and mud. Behind them, metallic footsteps. Not running, just coming. Always coming. They reached an old drainage tunnel, half collapsed. The boy dropped to his knees, pulled away a steel grate. Asterisk. Go. This leads under the mountain road. They won't follow underground. Asterisk. Asterisk. What about Tyler? Asterisk. She gasped. He shook his head, desperate. Asterisk. He knew. He gave you time. You need to finish this. Asterisk. She hesitated, then crawled in.
Dark. Wet.
The sound of water echoing around her. The tunnel stretched on, endless, but she moved, faster with every breath. Then a light ahead. She climbed out into a clearing behind an old ranger lookout tower. The highway was down below.
She could see headlights. Cars.
Civilization.
People.
She scrambled down the hillside, nearly slipping. Made it to the roadside. A blue SUV screeched to a stop as she burst into view. The driver, a woman in her 40s, jumped out. Asterisk. Are you okay? What happened? Asterisk. The woman held up her phone. Asterisk. Call the news.
Call the FBI.
This. Asterisk. She choked on the words. Asterisk. This goes all the way to the sheriff's office. The mayor. The school. Asterisk. The driver pulled out her own phone. Asterisk. Start at the beginning. Asterisk. The woman opened her cloud account. The video was still there. Safe. She played it. Deputy Ray's voice filled the SUV speakers. Asterisk. Project Hollow Pines must stay buried. Asterisk. The driver stared at the screen, then turned slowly toward her. Expression changed. No surprise. Just recognition. She pulled a badge from her jacket. One the woman didn't recognize. Not local. Federal. We've been looking for that file, she said softly. The woman's blood turned to ice. Asterisk. Who are you? Asterisk. The agent smiled. Asterisk. The reason they didn't finish the job the first time. Asterisk. And then from the trees behind them, a scream. Not just any scream.
Tyler's. Alive.
Terrified. Still running. The scream cut through the trees like a razor.
Raw.
Wounded. Asterisk. Tyler. Asterisk. She shouted, turning toward the forest, heart tearing in two. But the agent stepped in front of her. Asterisk. Don't. Asterisk. Asterisk. He's alive. He needs help. Asterisk. The woman's hand trembled, still gripping the phone. The agent's eyes narrowed. Asterisk. You don't understand what you're carrying. That recording could bring down everyone Lakeview, the program, even the agency divisions that fund it. Asterisk. Asterisk. Then let it. Asterisk. The agent looked past her, toward the trees. Asterisk. You think they'll let it? Asterisk. She didn't answer. She couldn't, because in her chest, somewhere deeper than instinct, She knew the truth. Tyler was never meant to survive.
Neither was she.
The headlights from the SUV were still glowing, and from the woods behind them, a second figure emerged, stumbling, covered in blood and dirt. Tyler, eyes wild, breathing like each second cost him a year of his life. He fell to his knees beside her, grabbed her arm. They killed him, he gasped. Asterisk, the boy, he led me out, then they shot him like an animal. Asterisk. The agent didn't flinch, didn't blink. Asterisk, you should have stayed hidden, Tyler. Asterisk. He looked up at her, hate burning through every word. Asterisk, you're one of them. Asterisk. She nodded once, not in denial, but in confirmation. Asterisk, I've always been. Asterisk. She reached for something inside her coat, and the woman moved first, snatched Tyler's hand. They ran. Down the road, away from the SUV, from the agent, from the mountain. Car horns blared as they sprinted across lanes, adrenaline drowning out pain. A truck stopped. The driver, a man with tired eyes and a kind face, opened the door.